Hello everybody, today we're going to talk about the new firmware release of Vicki, which we're very excited about because it brings a couple of very important improvements, and I'm going to go step by step on the changelog and explain a little bit more about them. So the first and foremost, the biggest update in our opinion is that we have managed to significantly decrease the sound that Vicki generates when it moves the motor. We've done this by implementing micro-stepping, or in some cases half-stepping if the hardware is too old. But basically, to show you what this means is, basically this is a spectrogram on the sound of Vicki while calibrating. So this is the old version. You can see that different sounds are generated in different basically frequencies. And they're very intensive at some points, and this is the improvement. This is a calibration of Vicki, so you can see that the frequencies are primarily in the same range, and the rest of the channels, the rest of the frequencies are not as active. So this is very important. We decided to do it because, of course, we want a more silent device, obviously, but we're gonna wait for your feedback. What the clients are thinking. The second thing that was also requested was to add a command to change the AppEUI and AppKey. So if you want to do it now, it's possible, but I must give you a warning here. Changing this means that the device is going to rejoin the network using the new AppEUI and AppKey. And just be careful using this command. If you need to change it, be sure that you understand what you're doing. The third part is basically controlling what happens if the child lock is enabled. So people, the manual adjustments through the device itself are disabled, but the device goes offline. So there might be an issue with the network or something else. But now we've added a command which basically says if child lock is active and the device goes offline, you can deactivate it. And the nice thing about it is that once the device is back online, it's going to revert back to the old status of child lock. So if it was enabled, it's going to disable it for the period in which the device was offline, and then it's going to go back to enabled as soon as the device goes online again. Then we added some bits that were reserved for the future, but we added the information whether Vicki is attached on a backplate or not. So this is important because if it's attached on a backplate but still the motor range is 0, this means that it didn't manage to calibrate. And second, we added a bit to report that status that Vicki believes it's in, because when it's working with unconfirmed uplinks, it's pretty hard to understand whether the device is online or not, and that's why we have the watchdog parameters. But now there is even a status bit in the keep alive which says, okay, the Vicki thinks it's online or it's offline. We also changed the default rejoin period from 3 to 10 minutes. And we also removed, we had a logic where if it didn't connect successfully to a network for 10 times, then retries, then it restarted the whole device. So we removed this. We also improved the proportional algorithm operation. In version 4.0, it was basically closing the valve with little steps. If you had to close the valve, it was executing the closing movement, but in multiple steps. It was all happening at the same time, roughly, but it was kind of annoying, so we've removed this. We enriched the diagnostic information, but the diagnostic information is only for us as a manufacturer. We made it very much harder to enter the functional test mode, since we have been receiving some asks, hey, I'm seeing 8.8 showing on the display, what is happening? This is a functional test, this is used in the factory, and prior to 4.0 it was not that easy, not that hard to get into this functional test mode, but now it's very hard. And then we've also done the bugs that we found in 4.0. We have also, we do have a resolution for them suggested here, but we have also fixed them. So first, I think the most kind of impactful is the issue with the LoRaWAN MAC layer freezing in firmware 4.0. We had a resolution, but we found where was the issue in this library, and we fixed it. The second, the device now processes WDP, the watchdog parameters, for confirmed correctly. Another interesting and very important thing is that after a watchdog parameter reset, the device retains its operational mode. So it means that if the device is working in manual mode, where it's not really deciding what level of openness of the valve it should be to achieve this temperature, it's not doing that, but it's instead waiting for the server to send the data on which motor position it should go. If the device resets, then it's going to go back to this mode. And prior to fixing this bug, you had to use confirmed uplinks if you want to use manual mode. So we've also improved this. And last but not least, I would say there was, the firmware team always wanted to kind of improve the driver of the rotary encoder. So this is the part that detects the movement of the rotation of Vicki. We noticed some activations, random activations, just showing numbers. It was not really changing the temperature, but just showing the numbers on the display. And we have fixed this. It's very interesting issue, but I'm not gonna go into details. It was related more with the hardware and the operation of the physical motor rotor encoder. So that's it about 4.1, excuse me. We now have also, if your devices are running 4.0 firmware, which supports FOTA, then you can reach out to us on LoRaWAN support at MClimate and ask us for an update to 4.1. The update itself, the FOTA, it's not the one that the LoRa Alliance has released recently. We're gonna go into this direction as well to support the LoRa Alliance FOTA. But for now, it's our own FOTA where we're connecting your device to our cloud, and then we just start sending little chunks of data to the device so that it can update the firmware. But if you want to do it, you should reach out to my colleagues at LoRaWAN support at MClimate, and we can update your Vicki's from distance to version 4.1. So that's it. Thank you. There is also a lot of information. All those new commands are actually entered into the documentation itself, so you can see the changes. You can see the commands. But also, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And I'm really excited about this firmware because it really fixes some things that we gathered as feedback from the market. So I'm really interested what you guys are going to say about it. Thank you.